Hi, today clip is about exploring and understanding academic integrity. What is academic plagiarism? Learn how to prevent it. I will also present tips for quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. Javed Anjum Sheikh is my name. I will present plagiarism, quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. Merriam-Webster's dictionary's plagiarized definition is about the idea or words of another as you present your own and without credit the source. Simply to commit literally theft, present as a new and original an idea or product tried from an existing source. Simply, plagiarism is stealing. It is the act of passing off another person's intellectual property. If you use those same work and call them your own, you are stealing it. Plagiarism is presenting someone else's work as your own. In this slide, I will discuss types of plagiarisms. You are probably familiar with this concept. However, did you know there are different types of plagiarism? We usually associate plagiarism with intentionally cheating and trying to take credit for something that is not our own work. However, sometimes we might plagiarize without being aware of it. Intentional plagiarism is knowing cheating or intentionally presenting someone else's ideas, research, words as your own. Unintentional, not giving proper credit for someone else's ideas, research, or words, even if it was not intentional to present them as your own. Plagiarism is misrepresenting somebody else's intellectual work, ideas, information, writing, thinking as your own. In other words, it is misuse of source material, whether intentional or unintentional. So let's see what is intentional plagiarism. We have already discussed in the previous slides, knowing cheating or intentionally presenting someone else's ideas, research, words as your own is intentional plagiarism. So first is kind is copying, downloading, buying as entire paper or part of a paper that was written by someone else and turning it in with your own name on is plagiarism. Intentional not giving proper credit for a source. Intentionally incorporating someone else's concepts or words into your own paper without giving that person credit with an appropriate citation is plagiarism. Self-plagiarism. Reusing a paper or research for more than one class or assignments when original work is expected is also inappropriate. These are the example of cheating. Even it was intentional, it is still plagiarism and not acceptable. Quite simple, do not do it. USKT expect original work from students. If you don't understand how to complete your assignments correctly, ask for help. Remember, there is a learning process and there are many resources available to help you along the way. Unintentional plagiarism. Already given in previous slides, not giving proper credit for someone else's ideas, research, or words, even it is was not intentional or present them as your own. So, accidentally failing to cite your source correctly. Plagiarize accidentally by failing to cite their source correctly. If you are not sure how to correctly cite your source, ask for help. Not citing paraphrase information. Some students believe that it's necessary to cite a source only if they use a direct quote. You must give the original author credit even when you are paraphrase. Incorrectly paraphrasing. An effective paraphrase will convey the author's fact to conclusion accurately but in your own unique style. You may encounter the documents and unintentional using a source from the web which is actually somebody else's research work. So Lot of things are available on the websites, and there are some posted by a paper mill, a site that sells research paper for the purpose of cheating. They are not scholarly source and should be avoided. How to prevent it? Quotation, it means match the source word for word, appear between quotation marks. Summarizing does not match the source word for word, involve putting the main ideas on your own words but including only for main points. Presents a broad overview, so it is usually much shorter than the original text. And paraphrasing does not match the source word for word, involve putting passage from source into your own words, changing the words or phrasing of a message, but retain and fully communicate the original meaning. Remember, in all three quotations, summarizing, paraphrasing, you have to mention original source. What is quotation? A quotation is an exact reproduction of spoken or written words. Quotes can provide strong evidence, act as an authoritative voice or a sports writer's statement. For example, Bell and Bell 93 point out their study of Australian American cultural relation, and you can see this statement is in the uh, under quotation. So we need to use quote when we want to say that some words are very expressive and we have to write down exact words, and these words are very important, and the voice is already very authoritative, and in sports claim you have to write your own words simply. How to quote? Quoting should be done spring and support your own work, not replace it. For example, make a point in your own words, then support it with that authoritative quote. Early direct quotation should appear between quotation marks. Exact reproduce text including punctuation and capital letter. A short quotation often work well when integrated into a sentence. If any word to needs to omitted, then use ellipse in the right colors. And then if you want to use some quotation, and if you want to add some words, so use give them square bracket. Longer quotation more than 3 lines, you have to present a new line and be intended from both sides. What is paraphrasing? Paraphrasing is a way of using different words and phrasing to present the same ideas. Paraphrasing is used with short section of text such as phrases and sentences. A paraphrase offers an alternative to using direct quotation and allows you to integrate evidence, source, material into assignments. Paraphrasing can also be used for note taking and explaining information in tables, charts, and diagram. So when to paraphrase? When you have an alternative of direct quotations without changing meanings, some rewrite, and then you go for in your own words. You have to write your own words, other meanings, and the provide evidence. How to paraphrase? Use always understand original source, and then write down main points. Then write down in your own words and including the important informations. Change the rule of ideas and the words, and sentence structure. Divide long sentences into small sentences. Review your paraphrase to check it accordingly reflect the original text, but is in your words and style. Ensure that you keep the original meaning and maintain the same relationship between main ideas and supporting points. Using your memory, write down the main points or concepts. When reading a passage, try first to understand it as a whole rather than pausing to write down specific ideas or phrase. Check your note against the original to ensure that you have not accidentally plagiarized. Remember few things from the previous slides: meaning, words, phrase, structures, order, attitude. So what is meaning? Maintain the source ideas and the same relationship between them. So you have to keep the meaning like in this way. The words, the synonyms except for the specialized subject vocabulary. Every subject have their own vocabulary, so don't change them. But other words you may. If you want phrase, if you want to retain a unique or specialist phrase, use quotation. Already discussed. Structure: do not maintain the same grammatical or sentence structure as the author. Very sentence length, change the active to passive voice, or use adjective and instead of nouns. Similarly, order of the words in which the text is presented without alternative words. Attitudes: reflect the author's attitude in your version on the text. Critical, confidence. You can see the culture of the attitude of the writers. So that's why you remember all these 6 points. Now we compare text comparison to understand how we are learning. There is a reference point. We have took quote from this. This is the original work, and this is a rephrase. So you can see the purple colors, and then light blue and the dark blue have a different here. So you can read it, you can understand this one. How can the paragraph? You can see the paragraph. Original paragraph is shorter than the paraphrase text. Now we see how can we analyze. So let's see. Example: original text is universities are also place a burden into understand plagiarism and attribute conventions on students. So see what is the other side. So there are a few things you have to remember. This one: order of the ideas or words look for where university appears. You see how we write the university here in a plagiarized writing. Words from active place the burden, red color, on change the passive to be passed in a red color. Similarly, understanding change into learning how. Understanding in a black color and learning how is also black color. So you see how did they change it. Similarly, how to plagiarize and attribute conventions change into reference correctly and avoid plagiarism in a purple color. So there is a simple 3 lines, but when you go for the paraphrase, because they change the words according to the different use the synonymous, that's why it's a bigger. Second sentence is the red color, and the same thing is order of the words look for their university appears. Similarly, descriptive there are change into active many university provides, right, purple color, and information laden web-based self-help tutorial, the red color, and workshop and related with the change to the online self-access resources. Similarly, some informations are added to explain the meaning. For a student, try to learn more about this area. The last line is added because to make the clear vision of the structure. Sentence 3, they did not change it. The sentence was not intended the new paraphrase, as the writer felt it was not important to their discussion. So you can see, you can omit any line which is not important for you. Number 4, the information has been divided into subpoints to try to express the point more clearly. Some explanatory word and linking word have been added to help explain the meaning and to show that it is the original author who was made these claim. Sudhir Simith explained. So you can see the third line in a light blue color. Use the author name in this paraphrase. And similarly, issues of equity change into the questions of inequity, red color. Raises issues change into the carry implications in a purple color. And there is one example, judge yourself what is missing in these examples. What we added in this example. Now what happened in this example. Here when you paraphrase, we added some purple color lines to give the flavor of either the essence of the more meaningful words. Example 5, some more added in this example, and these are the more examples. You can see how they write it. It's depend upon how to understand the words, how to understand the things. and then you how express yourself. uh, there are few correct words. If you understand them, then you will give the very wonderful ideas. Red color states mean indicate that you have a largely neutral stance toward the idea expressed. Argos indicate that you thinks that even supports his opinion with argument and evidence. Asserts indicate that you think that Evans does not fully support his idea. Claim indicate that you think that Evans does not support his idea at all. Rightly argues indicate that you are agree strongly with the views. Wrongly argues indicate that you disagree with conclusion that Evan has drawn. Partially correct suggests that you are agree with some but not at all of Evan's view. So remember these words, and when you paraphrase, you may use these words to make your paraphrasing better. Now let's see summary. What is summary? Rewrite your notes in your own words. Restate the main ideas at the beginning plus all major points. Simply, a summary is an overview of the text. The main aim of summarizing is to reduce or condense a text to its most important ideas. Leave out details, examples, and formalities. Summarizing is a useful skill of making notes. Writing an abstract synopsis and incorporating material in assignments. So how we summarize? Highlight the main points, simply what I said, leaving out example, any evidence, and write down your own words. Remember, does not match the source word for word. You don't need to write word by word, otherwise it become a quotation. Involve putting main ideas into your own words, but including only the main points. Presenting a broad overview, so it is usually much shorter than the original text. That's why people say, okay, if you have 1,000 words, then make it 333 words. So one third you have to be write down in a summary. Must be attributed to the original source. Obviously, you have to mention original source. These are the references. I hope if you have any issues, you may contact with me, and I hope we'll try to sort out your questions and your answers and anything. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.